We're going to try and make the best country to live in of all time. We have 16 different categories here, and each category is going to be filled out by each country's best attribute. The categories we have are as follows: the weather, the food, the population, the natural beauty, the military, the nuclear forces, the safety and the landmass, the banter, so the humour, the wild animals, healthcare and economy, the tourism, the crime rate, the capital city and the flag. All of these categories are going to be put together to make the greatest country of all time without question. And we're starting things off with the weather. Now, weather can obviously be subjective. You might like a really cold country, whereas I might like a really hot country. Or you may like a country like the UK, where it's cold one minute and then boiling the next. Literally yesterday, it was snowing and then the sun was out this morning. What? Anyway, the country I'm going to be picking is Costa Rica, because Costa Rica averages around 21 to 29 degrees all year round. And I think that's perfect. The sun is always shining, and when the sun is shining, you get in a better mood, you're happier, you just end up doing more things, the world looks better, everything's better when it's sunny. When the sun is out, I am happy. So that's why I'm picking Costa Rica as my country for the weather. Now, moving on to the food. Food is very important to me. I absolutely adore food. And there is only one country that could really be the country for food. I feel like we're all going to say the same country here because everyone has this cuisine. And of course, it's Italian cuisine. Italian food for me is easily number one. I mean, Italian food, come on, pizza and pasta, I'm not even going to say any more.
Pizza and pasta are top tier. My two favourite foods from the same country, the same cuisine. It is untouchable, it's easily number one.
By the way, I want you guys to play along in the comments down below and let me know your perfect country. Now, moving on to the population. For this one, I didn't want a crazy big population like India. 1.4 billion people is just too many people for me. But I didn't want a crazy small one like the UK. Or like Iceland, or a country like that. I want a decent sized population. And that's why I've gone with Russia. Russia have 143 million people in their population. So that is now the population of my country. This country is going to be called
Danberg.
Danberg is this country, okay? Moving on to the natural beauty, there is only one country in this world that I would pick, and it is genuinely one of the most gorgeous countries in the world. I think it's the most gorgeous, that's why it's going in this list. I've never been to this country, I've always wanted to go, and I promise you one day I will go to this country. If this video gets 5,000 likes, I'll travel there. And this country is, of course, New Zealand. New Zealand is obviously known for its diverse landscapes and beautiful, beautiful natural beauty. The national parks in New Zealand are actually insane. Like, I keep seeing these pictures online about New Zealand and I'm sitting there like this. Like, it's genuinely insane. I was a bit torn between America and New Zealand, but I just think New Zealand, because it's a bit smaller, it has all of this beauty in one little place instead of spread over a massive, like, pretty much a continent. So I went for New Zealand. But don't worry, America, you're straight back on this list with the military. I am picking the military of the United States of America because they are the strongest country of all time. No country ever in history would ever be able to touch the United States of America in a war, which is crazy to me. The only other country that would be able to trouble the United States of America would be Russia, and that is who we're picking for our nukes. Russia's nuclear forces has 6,375 nukes. That is absurd. I'd say 10% of them nukes would be enough to destroy the whole planet. Yet they have 100% more? I don't know. Yeah, 100% more. So we have the military power of the United States of America and the nuclear forces of Russia. That is the devil and the devil meeting. Now for the safety. This country is going to be nice and safe. There's only one country for it, and it is, of course, Iceland. If you didn't know, Iceland is literally known for how safe it is, and obviously how beautiful it is, but the safety is a main priority here. They have a low crime rate and barely any tension with any other political parties or countries. So for the safety, of course, we're going for Iceland. We've got 9 more categories to go. I think so far this is genuinely the perfect country. I want to know your opinion down below in the comments. And please type in the comments your perfect country. I'm so excited to see it because a lot of these categories are genuinely opinion based. But anyway, moving on to the landmass. I've picked this landmass bearing in mind that we have 143 million people in our population. So I have gone with the United States of America. It's massive. It will house more than 143 million. America's population is about 330 million as it is. And I just think that's the perfect amount of population for the perfect amount of size. So our country is as beautiful as New Zealand, as big as America, and houses over 140 million people. I think that's sick. But not only that, we are now moving on to the banter. If you don't know what banter means, it's pretty much comedy, humour, how you interact with people. And I'm so torn for this one, I do not know what to pick. I'm either picking the United Kingdom or Australia, because we are so similar in so many ways. We love a drink, we have the same humour, we have the same personalities, I think. I don't know what country to pick. If we're picking banter alone, I'm genuinely gonna pick both. We are so funny. We are easily the funniest two countries on the planet. So for the banter and humour, I'm picking the United Kingdom and Australia, the two goats of humour. It's now time for the animals. Now this is where it gets a little bit good. There's so many countries with such diverse animals, but I don't want it to be too crazy like Australia, because Australia is terrifying. If I saw a few crocodiles like running towards me, I'd probably faint, or I'd just sprint in the other direction crying. I am terrified of crocodiles. But this country has some dangerous animals in it, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm being a bit hypocritical here. However, they have pandas.
Pandas, yeah.
So the country I am picking for the animals is China, because they've got pandas. I like pandas. And to be honest, they've got other cool animals as well, but mainly pandas. Healthcare time! There is so many countries in the world right now that have absolutely unbelievable healthcare, but I'm going for the country with the highest life expectancy along with the best facilities. Now you could say Japan, you could say Hong Kong, but I'm going to go with Switzerland. For me, I feel like they've got the best facilities and their life expectancy is crazy high, and they're actually ranked as one of the best healthcares in the world. Next to it is Iceland and Japan, I think, but if they're number one, I'm picking them. Now, I know there's going to be a few shouts for the United Kingdom and the NHS because we have free healthcare. I don't know if Switzerland do the same. However, Switzerland, they're cooking. Their healthcare is insane. Like, they're literally number one, so I'm going to go with Switzerland, of course. Economy time. Now, for the economy, this was really tough for me. I had two countries in mind. I had America and I had Liechtenstein. See, Liechtenstein have one of the highest per capita income, whereas America is the largest economy on the planet. However, America are in like $30 trillion worth of debt. So that economy doesn't sound too good to me. Their debt is so big, I saw a video on this, you could travel to the moon and back.
To the moon and back, to the moon and back, to the moon and back.
And then halfway to the moon again, and that is how many times their dollar bills has been stacked upon each other. That's insane. Their debt is so big, every dollar bill stacked on top of each other could go to the moon and back 8 times. That's insane. So I think for the economy, I'm gonna go for Liechtenstein. It might not be the biggest economy, but per capita, per person, it's up there. So I'm gonna go for Liechtenstein because I can't go for America. It is the biggest economy, but they've just got massive debt. I don't want that much debt. Maybe I'll add a debt category. It's time for the debt. We are picking Jersey and Guernsey. They have no national debt. So our country has a per capita income of Liechtenstein and we have no debt. So up yours, America. We've done you in there. We might not have the largest economy, but we got no debt. So we'll be all right. 4 more categories to go, and we are now moving on to the tourism. Tourism is a massive part of a thriving economy, a thriving country, and the tourism we are picking is the tourism of the French tourism. They have the highest tourism in the world with 80 million people visiting France every single year. What? I've been to France multiple times, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I mean this very respectfully. It is not worth 80 million people visiting you. Genuinely, it's not. The Eiffel Tower isn't as big as what I thought it was gonna be. There's loads of rubbish and dustbins everywhere, just littered all over the floor. And you get scammed wherever you go. People like walk up to you with like a whiteboard and make you sign it and try and like take money from you. It's scammy, but I do have to admit France is a beautiful country, but that is a bad part of France. Like the scamming stuff at Paris really annoys me. However, we are still going with the tourism of France. Now moving on to the crime rate, of course, you already know what country it is. The crime rate, there's only one country for this. There's only one country that has the best crime rate, and it's Iceland. Iceland's crime rate's insanely low. It's like insane. I looked up the lowest crime rate in the world. What came up? Iceland. I already knew it before I looked it up. I just wanted to double check and make sure. Iceland are literally the goats. They're so safe over there. I love it. It's so good. I need to go to Iceland.
I'm going to make a video where I go to Iceland and I leave a shopping bag full of Apple products on a table. I'm going to walk away for an hour and see if that gets robbed.
If it does get robbed, I'll be very surprised, sorry. Capital city time. There's so many capital cities in the world, it's really, really hard for me to narrow it down to one. And considering all of the other attributes that this country has, with its safety, with its population, with its food, with its weather, for me there's only one capital city that it could be. And it's of course Rome. I think Rome is one of the coolest capital cities in the world. I was there for a singular day. I don't know if you remember this video here. I literally flew to Italy to try a pizza and I went to Rome, and Rome was one of the most amazing places I've ever been in my entire life. And again, you've got to remember, this capital city is now safe, has great weather, which it had anyway, great food, which it had anyway, great banter. It's just literally the perfect capital city. And last but certainly not least, for Danberg, we need a flag. A flag is very important. It shows patriotism. It shows how much you love your country and how powerful your country is. A powerful looking flag shows your intent, how mean you are, how cool you are, how you're not to be messed with. So for Danberg, the flag we will be adopting is the flag of Bhutan. Bhutan has one of the coolest flags ever. Look at the dragon. Just look at the dragon. Look at it. This is such a cool flag. It's a top tier flag. I don't care what anyone says, Bhutan is a top tier flag. But that's about it. So this is my perfect country. Let me know in the comments down below which is your perfect country. It's been a pleasure. See you later. Bye.